Mom teaches anthropology. So I decided to come out to her this way. Mom, my species is sapien, but my genus is Homo.
Dad, I said, I like Han Solo. I like him too, he says.
Mom took one beat, then said, my baby, my darling boy. There's no such thing as a heterosapien.
No, Dad, I like Han Solo, okay? He stubs out a cigarette. He lights up another one. I like Chewbacca, he says.
You're not upset, Mom? I asked. She shrugged. She said the same thing she said after her third marriage. Oh, you can't grow tomatoes everywhere.
No, Dad, I want to fuck Han Solo. I did not say that. I wanted to, though.
A call from my mom, the queen of non sequiturs. Hi, honey. I was just wondering if you were a top or a bottom. I nearly spit out my soup. Mom, who, what, where, when? Why now? Well, I was just talking with Chris's mom. You know Chris. Chris Newman, the boy next door who mows the lawn with his shirt off. Yeah, I recall. Well, I had drinks with Chris's mom, and she says it's better to be a top. Speak for yourself. I mean, safer. Please don't worry, Mom. After this conversation, I don't think I'll ever have sex again.
A letter from my mom, the Queen of Tenacious, Ohio. Dear son, I know we haven't seen you in church in a while. All capital letters. We miss you! Exclamation point. We hope that you are well, and that perhaps you have reconsidered your underlined, unnatural lifestyle. At your age, heaven may seem far off, but like objects in the rearview mirror, it may be closer than it appears. I wait patiently with open arms, love, comma, Jesus. Please don't worry, Jesus. After this letter, I don't think I'll ever have sex again.
When my parents first saw me as I am now, it put the found and dumb. They could only trickle 3 words. But when? Why? But what, Mom? And when, Dad? Always. As for the why? Well, let's just say the dress fits now. This was after 21-year-old Brandon Tena was raped and murdered in Nebraska. This was the year Matthew Shepard was tied to a fence and left to die in Wyoming. This was the year the invisibles needed to become visible. And so I did.
I had an Uncle Phil. Did you have an Uncle Phil? Mine I met at the lunch counter at Perkins when I was 14 years old. He was probably only in his early 30s at the time, but back then it seemed like 100. Uncle Phil offered me a ride home. This became a regular thing. I hung out at his place a lot. Usually we'd watch TV or whatever, had snacks. One day I was in a really quiet mood because some guys at school had called me faggot for the 100 millionth time. I told Uncle Phil, and I don't know why, I started crying. He took me by the hand and led me into his bedroom. He took off my shoes and my socks, and he started stroking my ankles. Are you a faggot, Billy? He asked. No, I said. I don't know. Say it, Uncle Phil said. Faggot. I don't want to. Come on, just say it. It's a word like any other. So I say it. Faggot. Again, He's still stroking my ankles. Faggot, I say. Again. Faggot. 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 It starts to sound funny. This word. See, it's just a word, says Uncle Phil. Do you want to find out, Billy? Do you want to find out what it means? By now, I had a heart-on clear to the ceiling. Sure, I say. Tell me. And he told me.
Is this your first time? Jafar asked me. No, I said, a total lie. Jafar said, this is my only time. His hands were shaking as he undid his belt. It slid off like a snake. It was like visiting a different world. Finally one with kissing and touching. I traced Jafar's birthmark like it was a map. I pointed at all the places I wanted to go.
Chris Newman's basement when I was 19.
In the front seat during driver's ed.
Chris Newman. The boy next door who mows the grass with his shirt off. I had never even been so much as kissed at that point. 69 was a number after 70. Fellatio? Sounded like a fancy dessert.
Once more around the parking lot, Mel. Mr. Loomis barked. He had a voice that could stop traffic.
Chris and I went down to his basement to smoke some weed and listen to music. You like rap music, he said. Sure. I lied. Those trophies are mine, he said. I used to play soccer. I used to play the flute, I said. You like kissing, he said. Sure, I said. We had gone from rap music to soccer to kissing in under 30 seconds.
Okay, park it here, Mel. Mr. Loomis growled. We were in the back of the lot behind the pines, so I parked it.
In another 30 seconds, we were grinding against one another on the beanbag chair.
And that's when Mr. Loomis taught me how to drive a stick shift.
I didn't even have my underwear off before I came. That was quick, he said. I've had 19 years of foreplay. I said it's like growing hydroponic pot. Want to take this further, he said, waving a condom. Sure, I said, although I wasn't. When he pushed himself into me, I thought it had to be a joke. Some big, fat, uncircumcised joke. Chris had foreskin like 5 skin. Just relax, he said. Breathe. Trust me, Chris. All I'm doing is breathing.
I had this shortcut home in high school. The shortcut saved maybe 2 minutes. Otherwise, I had to go past the supermarket and down and around. It was too much. There were 4 altogether. The 2 that I saw clearly were kids. Younger than me. And they used beer bottles. They found them in the trash cans in the alley, I guess. I had never even had sex. Nothing. I didn't even consider myself gay. They left my watch and my wallet, even my hat. fallen off at some point, I guess. It was all just lying there where they left me. When I got examined by the campus doctor, he says, "You're lucky they use bottles. No ejaculate. I don't have to test you for HIV." I thought to myself, wow, that is lucky. When I took my shirt off in front of her, she didn't blink twice.
He didn't blink twice. He didn't blink once. He didn't blink.
She traced the scars on my back like they were road maps, and she was lost.
When I took off the rest, I asked him to turn off the light first. I hadn't fully transitioned. I was roughly halfway to where I wanted to be, if you want to divide the body into fractions.
I was always good at math. I told her to leave the lights on.
The heart wants what it wants. Emily Dickinson wrote that in 1862, when an average heart lasted 39.2 years. Yes. And sometimes the rest of the body wants what it wants to.
I don't know if I'm ready for this, I told her.
Which part? I didn't ask. He left in the morning like a fireman, his shirt on backwards, and a 5-alarm fire in his eyes.
I like Han Solo.
I'm no Han Solo. I'm no Princess Leia either. No princess at all, as he learned that night. It was nice almost falling in love with you.
It was nice almost falling in love with you too.
With his shirt still on backwards, facing in my direction as he walked out the door. What happens in the dark stays in the dark. But what happens in the light, let's say it